So it's said every single year that this year is going to be a good year for the Division 2. And I would like to believe that it's going to be in 2023, but we know what Massive Entertainment are like. We know what these developers do and what they don't do, and everything in 2022 was delayed. So that's pushed things back for 2023, because there is a brand new game mode coming. We'll get into it in more detail further into the video. But it was originally supposed to release with Title Update 17, Season 11, but it's now not going to come into the game until Spring 2023, so more than likely with Year 5 Season 1, which, if there are no more delays, should be around May, June sort of time. But what we do have coming up in 2023, sometime in January, sometime this month, we should have a PTS for Title Update 17 and Season 11. Then I believe in February we'll get the actual release of Season 11. And what we know about this season so far, we've heard that it's going to be a lot better in terms of story than Season 9, which was already a pretty good story. But we know that it's called Reign of Fire, and we know that the new target is Stovepipe. So just going based off the names, pure speculation, it seems as though it's something to do with fire, which would be the cleaner faction, and that would potentially lead us into New York. But at the same time, there's been a lot of speculation going around about us rebuilding the castle settlement. So if that's the case, we're going to be still in DC. So there's still a lot of confusion around the season. We do have to wait until we get hands on and everything like that. But that's just the very beginning of the year. After Season 11 is going to be the start of Year 5, and they're going to be doing some sort of a live stream, providing they're sticking to their roadmap. They're going to do some sort of a live stream to talk about the Year 5 plans. I think it'll just be 4 seasons, continuation of the story, the new Descent mode, and pretty much it. Because the rest of what it says is Year 5, Spring 2023, live stream Year 5 plan, Season 1, Descent game mode, and then underneath that it says continuous bug fixes, quality of life improvements, and more. But they also said before Year 5 begins, they will be releasing a specialization revamp, and we haven't heard anything about that yet. So that could be something that does come into Season 11. It could be something that comes into Season 1 of Year 5. We don't know at the moment, but so far we've got Season 11, then we go into Season 1 Year 5, and the new Descent game mode. Fingers crossed this doesn't get delayed anymore. But what we know so far, looking on Reddit at the official Division forum, or subreddit, whatever you want to call it, the game mode is called Descent. It's inspired by the roguelike genre. When you start a session, the mode takes away your gear. It's just not available, but you do get it back once you leave the session, and you start from scratch. You have to use the mechanics in the game mode to become more powerful as you make progress, and you take on harder and harder challenges. Once the session is over because you died or decided to exit or disconnected, it's the Division 2, we don't know what's going to happen, you cash in your reward and start from scratch again. So it's going to be basically a survival sort of mode, and it's going to be roguelike. There are of course rewards and a permanent progression. Expect something very different to the game modes that we already have in game, but then they've said that with every single game mode they release. They also said that they're going for game modes that offer a lot of replayability, and then we got the Summit, which is 100 floors that's actually just built on 2 or 3 floors. They've also said starting from scratch does not mean you have to put together a build every time you start a session. There will not be loot in the classic sense in the game mode. Instead, you will go into loot talents in the game mode and combine them on your character. This way you can combine mechanics that the game usually does not allow you, and this way you can create completely new playstyles and builds. They will only be available in the Descent game mode. You can also create combinations that makes you way more powerful than in the regular game, but once the session is over, this is reset and you have to start over. You can decide after each room if you want to make progress or if you want to leave the session. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this mode. It seems to me as though it's similar to the survival mode on Remnant from the Ashes as an example. You basically start off with nothing, you find different stuff, and you basically loot the talents as you're making progress, like you do the trait books, or the survival books, whatever you want to call them. You make progress through, you have a blast, you take down challenges that become tougher, Like how in Remnant from the Ashes, the enemies every, I think it's 6 minutes, they become tougher. But you carry on doing that over and over again, and then you die, or you quit, or whatever, and your session is reset. But as far as stuff goes in 2023 for the game, all we've got is Season 11, Year 5, Descent Game Mode, and that is it. So if they do manage to get this stuff out on time, it doesn't have too many bugs, there's actual new content in the game besides this Descent Game Mode, and I don't just mean exotics and global events and leagues and stuff run through the seasons. I mean, if there is other content coming into the game as well, so something like the specialization revamp, they could finally put legendary missions in the game. If there's other stuff like that, 2023 will be a really good year for the game. But if they're just leaving it to what they've announced so far, and we will obviously find out more like during their live streams to let us know the Year 5 plans, if they are just leaving it at Season 11, then Year 5 starting off with the Season 1 and going through to Season 4, and it's just the same as it has been in the previous years, I don't think it's going to be a really good year, if I'm completely honest. I just don't understand why they would keep releasing 4 seasons in a year, releasing one new game mode, and just leaving it at that. But see, the thing is, we don't know when they started development on the Descent game mode, and it took them, I think it was about 16 months or something like that. It was a little over a year it took them to create Countdown. And I don't know how long they've been working on the Descent game mode, so I don't know if it's even anywhere near ready. They do still have some months left to get it finished, but they delayed pretty much everything in Season 10, including the final Manhunt mission that was delayed by 3 weeks. But hopefully, we don't see delays, there's not too many bugs, there's fun content coming, and fingers crossed we can have a good 2023 for the Division 2. I'll be keeping up to date with all of it, I'll be playing the new seasons and everything like that, so expect a lot more content coming. But that's going to do it for this one. Check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.